My husband and I recently moved into our new house. It was an older house with a few things that needed to be fixed, but the reduced price we bought it at was well worth it. It was in a small neighborhood with young children. We figured it would be the perfect home to start our family. My husband was an auto mechanic and worked many late nights. I had a side business selling pastries and worked from home. Since my husband was gone for most of the day, I would work on fulfilling orders for my business and then unpack boxes into our basement. Most of the boxes were unpacked, and that Friday afternoon, I was bringing down a few small ones and putting them into our crawl space in the basement. I should mention that our basement was not finished. There was only one light by the stairs, and it was concrete floors and very cold down there. Anyway, I was putting the boxes away in the crawl space when I heard a shuffling. My husband was at work, so I knew that it was not him. Maybe it was a rat or an animal that got in. It was very dark down there. I heard the shuffling noise again, almost like someone trying to run and hide. A chill went down my spine. I scanned the dark basement, but saw nothing. I chalked it up to an animal, but told myself I would tell my husband about it when he got home. I was about to walk back up the stairs when I heard laughter. It was coming from a dark corner of the basement, the corner that I could not see. I was frozen to the stairs when I heard a voice say, "Come down and play with me." I bolted up the stairs and locked the basement door. I stacked boxes against it for extra protection. I grabbed a knife. My heart was pounding. I strained my ear to hear anything else. I couldn't. I decided to call the police. When they got there, the basement was empty. No one was there, but they did find something strange. There's a tiny window down there, and by the edge of it, they found wet footprints. This horrified me and confirmed that there was indeed an actual person in my basement and that this wasn't a hallucination. I have no idea if this person was sane or insane, but either way, both are equally terrifying. I lived close enough to my high school that I did not need to take the bus and could just walk home. My parents both worked during the day, so when I did get home, I was alone till about 5 p.m. I was getting home from school one Friday. I had just bought the newest Madden and couldn't wait to get to my room and play it. I grabbed my key to unlock my front door, but was surprised to find that it was already opened. My driveway was empty, which meant my parents were not home. I know I should have been more worried, but I just figured they forgot to lock the door before they left for work. I went inside, and everything seemed normal. I saw no reason to think otherwise. I was taking off my backpack when I heard a noise upstairs. This did freak me out for a second, but then I quickly figured it was just our family dog, Rover. With no worries on my mind, other than playing the new video game, I went upstairs to my room and did exactly that. Around 5 p.m., I heard my parents come home. I yelled down to them, "Hey," and continued to play my game. I heard my mom and dad make their way upstairs to their bedroom. Then that's when my mom screamed. I threw my controller down and ran to their room. What I saw still haunts me to this day. In my parents' bedroom, mutilated, was our dog Rover. To call it a bloodbath would be putting it mildly. My mind jumped back when I came home, and the door was opened, and I heard the noise upstairs. I put the pieces together and told my parents. We called the police. They searched for prints and evidence, but found nothing. My mother was in hysterics. I don't think I'll ever be able to recover from the sight of my mutilated dog. But one thing that does not sit right with me is the fact that I was home alone with whomever did that to my dog, just one room down from me. What if they had decided to attack me? What if I had walked into my parents' room when I heard the noise? What would I have seen? These are questions that I will never have answers to. We live in the woods. The only downside about that is we don't get trick-or-treaters. The next nearest house is a half a mile away. Our house is pretty secluded, to say the least. I am an only child, and my parents were frequently gone, so staying home alone was something that I got used to at a young age. I'm now 15, It's summer vacation, and nothing has changed. My parents were going away for the weekend. They were going to the Bahamas to celebrate their anniversary. That was fine by me. I love staying home alone, and told them that I would take care of the place. It was a Saturday night, one day into being home alone, and I just couldn't sleep. I had binge watched all the Halloween movies and ate a ton of pizza. I was in my room, scrolling through Netflix, when bright headlights pulled up into my driveway. It wasn't uncommon for cars to use our driveway to turn around, but what was odd was that it was 2 in the morning, and this car wasn't turning around. It was parked in my driveway. I looked out my window, freaked out, wondering who this could be. It definitely wasn't my parents. They were still on the island drinking mojitos. That's when a man stepped out of the car. I ducked further beneath my window as not to be seen. The man started looking all around. I was wondering what he was doing when he suddenly started walking into the woods. This was not normal behavior, especially at this time of night. A few moments later, the man reappeared. He went to the back of his car and opened the trunk. I watched in fear as he dragged something large in what looked like black garbage bags. He dragged whatever was in the bag into the woods and did not reappear for another 20 minutes. I stayed low beneath my window, watching as the man got back into his car and drove off. My heart was racing, and at that age, I'd seen enough horror movies to know that something was not right. You're probably thinking that I called the cops, but I didn't. To be honest, I just didn't want to be involved with whatever I just saw. But the next morning, I had no choice but to be involved. I woke up to the police knocking on my door. They had a tip-off that a criminal they were pursuing had dumped evidence nearby. They were indeed correct. They brought out the K9 units, and what they discovered in my woods was horrific. They discovered the chopped-up remains of a human being inside black trash bags. The person they were trying to capture was an active serial killer with no indication of slowing down. When I tell you that my heart dropped to my stomach, I am not exaggerating. What I witnessed that night was the serial killer disposing of a recent victim. That information is hard to process, no matter how much life you have lived. Unfortunately, there has been no update on the killer's whereabouts, and he is still at large. But this much I do know: I will never again stay home alone.